He's talking about his a Thanksgiving fight that his family, him and his nephew, got into a couple years ago. It's very interesting when you consider kind of the lack of respect and the dynamic of his nephew and Anton Daniels. Anton Daniels would have been well known at this time. So let's take a listen here, and I'll point out some things that stick out to me.
Shouldn't go live or whatever, so on and so forth. I'm like, nah, listen, I've been documenting the journey the entire time. It's no reason why I'm not gonna go live tonight. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna kick it, and I'm gonna break this story down for y'all really quickly. All right, so Thanksgiving physical fight. We over my brother's house. You know, I was down at the creative space earlier today. And we chilling. So I'm taking a nap. I'm just kind of knocked out on the couch or whatever. And they doing a name pool. It's 3 different Yorkies all playing with each other. It's uncles, aunties, my mom is there, all of that other stuff. It's pretty much everybody was there at this point, right? So I'm sitting on the couch and I got my nephews. Now my nephews, my brother's kids, it's two of my 2 older brothers' kids. My 2 older brothers is 6 years and 7 years older than me. And so their nephews is some young dudes that I actually have practically raised myself, right? Has always been up under me, been in my life. One of my nephews, he works for me, right? So he works for me, one of my nephews. And so I'm sitting next to one of my nephews, and then there's one behind me on the couch. So I'm sitting on the couch, and then my nephew is behind me, and so he's looking at me because I woke up and I'm doing something on the computer. Anyways, he got this.
Now, I think it's very important to point out that he says that he more or less raised these young men.
He got this mic. This is so stupid, but I guess it just had to happen. He got this Michael Jordan type earring, and it got a pearl in it, right? It's like a pearl, and it's like a Michael Jordan earring, but he's super masculine or whatever. He not gay, but he got this pearl earring, and I guess it's like a style type of thing. Maybe it's a new nigga thing. I don't know. I'm not familiar with it. It's some new thing. They wear a pearl. Niggas is wearing pearl earrings now.
Not necessarily the pearl, but that style where it kind of like
the cross hang.
I guess that like this.
Yeah, but you're a girl. But anyways, so he got the Michael Jordan pearl earring, and he's like 20, 21 years old. So, you know, he's in his physical prime, right? And so he's sitting behind me, and so he's talking, and I'm talking to my other nephew. And so we talking about something that's on the internet, and I'm talking to my other nephew, and I'm like, yeah, because listen, if they seen that on the internet, maybe it's just my audience, they would think that was gay. And so he was like, man, fuck them. Like, well, he didn't say fuck them yet. Let me take that back. He was like, I don't care nothing about these niggas. He was like, I don't care nothing about them niggas on there. He was like, you old head niggas, y'all don't know nothing about nothing. Y'all don't know nothing about this, whatever. So he said.
So the first thing I want to point out here is that it seems to be that the initial conflict stemmed from Anton pointing out that based on the people that he talks to on YouTube, they would consider that earring with the pearl in it to be gay. So we've heard repeated references of Anton using a gay slur or accusation toward men. And in this case, it seemed to be happening again.
Started talking about that. And I was like, listen, I don't really care. I said, I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you what the internet is talking about, because you looking and trying to find out what they talking about. This is what's popping. And so he says, he doubles down, right? But he a little bit more aggressive this time. Now, keep in mind, this is a 19, 20, 21-year-old young nephew of mine. Not the one that worked for me, but another one, right? You know, he got a job now. He brolic and all of this other type of stuff, right? And so he was like, man, you know, like, forget them old niggas. Fuck them old niggas, whatever. And I'm like.
So basically what he's saying is, and this is what I say is the disconnect between Anton Daniels and down on the street. His young nephew didn't care what the internet says. To him, these are old heads. This is a 21-year-old. He probably looks at Anton Daniels' audience as old heads. He doesn't respect what they're talking about. They're not down on the streets. They don't own any businesses down on the street. They're just talking on the internet. And so he doesn't respect them.
Hey, you know, I look back at him because he over my shoulder and he behind me. I'm sitting on the couch and he's standing up behind me, and he kind of leaning in over me. And I'm like, well, he was like, man, you old niggas. Y'all niggas always talking this, all of this other type of thing. I'm like, nigga, who you talking to? He said, I'm talking to you. I said, nigga, fuck you. Like, nigga, who you talking to? Put some respect on my name. You know who I am? You know, I ain't say all of that, but I was just like, nigga, fuck you. Like, who you talking? He said, nigga, fuck you. What you want to do? Let me tell you something. Some of y'all may not be black that's watching this. Some of y'all may not be black that's watching this. I'm 40, right? He's 20. He's half my age, right? Once it crosses a certain threshold, that's it.
And that is very true. Once you cross a certain threshold, that's it. The bigger point, though, is that this young man that should be impressed by his uncle was willing to cross that threshold. That's very, very interesting. You have to look at it from that perspective. Anton Daniels at this point had been, established. He was well known. He's wealthy, and one of the nephews worked for him. The other nephew looked at him like he's insignificant.
That's it. This is Thanksgiving dinner. My mom is over there cleaning up. Rita is over in the kitchen cooking. Everybody jolly. It just goes silent. And so he said, "Nigga, what you want to do?" I got.
This is very provocative again from a young man speaking this way to an influential, wealthy uncle. Typically, you would be deferential to a wealthy uncle. He's like, "Hey man, what you want to do?"
My glasses on, and I got 2 cuts. It's actually like a groove, and it's like a little scratch right here because I have my glasses on.
And you can see he's clearly bruised in his face there. This 22-year-old did this to him.
It's on. It's up. It's up after that. He said, "What you want to do?" And the nigga standing behind me. It's on. I get up. He beeline around the couch because it's a real.
Your boy brought it to her. And this is what I'm saying. Like, your man with intelligence, you gotta stop these things before they get to this point. That's where the intelligence comes in. You don't find yourself engaged into a fight with a young man that you clearly could lose. This young man has no respect for him, and as he said, he quickly did what? Made a beeline.
It's on. I get up. He beeline around the couch because it's a real long couch past the Christmas tree. It's on. We don't say nothing after that. As soon as he walk up to me, I just grab that nigga by his neck and I just body slam him.
That's what he said he did. So how did you get bruised up? That's the better question.
I'm on top of the nigga and it's going up from there. I'm on top of him and it's going up from there. Naturally, you start hearing a bunch of cries. The women is crying. My uncle falls over the couch. You know what I'm saying? Like, the niggas is crying. My uncles fall over the couch. All of that other type of stuff. Now, my brothers, my youngest brother and my oldest brother, and then a bunch of
somebody needs to get this nephew online. I bet you he would tell a totally different story.
Other people, they grab us, they break us up. Soon as they break us up, he throw a hit and he hit me in my glasses. My glasses scratch my face. I don't know, my face is scratched.
So he's fighting with his glasses on. He never took his glasses off. Okay, that makes sense.
But you know what? I don't think. I don't think that these young dudes. Now, shout out to him because I actually talked to him and we squashed it. Like, everything is cool. We was laughing about it. I was laughing. I was kicking it with him, and I said, "Yeah, I like that. You got hurt, little nigga. Like, I like that you got hurt. I don't like the fact that it had to happen during Thanksgiving. I don't like the fact that if it was in the streets, it wouldn't have went down like that because you use de-escalation tactics. But when it's,
I think it's the other way around. In the streets, it goes down very quickly. There is no reason to use de-escalation tactics. What would be the reason? You don't know this person. In this instance, you're in your home. This is a relative of yours. Both of you should have shown a little bit more discretion, willingness to kind of ramp things down. But in this case, this young man was willing to bring it to his famous wealthy uncle.
It's a young nigga that you didn't raise. You gotta. He
raised him. Okay.
It's going up from there. Like, it's going up. You're gonna have to put some respect. It's almost like it was a long time coming. It's like it's like if a son brolic up and say, "Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I can rock out with you now." It just got to go up. And I'm no stranger to the squabbles, and so it just went down from there. It just had to go down, and we cool now. Whatever. I am apologetic. I sent the text and I talked to my other brother whose house we was over, and I'm like, "Yo, I'm sorry that the Christmas tree got." You know what I'm saying? That we fucked up Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? And let me tell you something. This is the other side of it, right? Because a lot of people don't realize, like, listen, we play nice and all of that, but don't think that it won't go up. Like, I'm not that far removed. I am from a certain environment and a certain cloth. And they...
This is one of those things where blacks, no matter how successful they get, they have to kind of try to reach back to prove their mettle. And in Anton Daniels' case, it comes off as kind of hollow. He's not that kind of guy, and that's fine. Just accept who you are. But he's trying to be the street guy, and these people are testing him, and He's not living up to the test.
Was raised in a completely different environment, and so they don't really understand what it means to get into scraps and nothing like that. So then when they get to a certain age, they feel brolic, and so you just got to get it in. I ain't take my glasses off or nothing. It's just, let's get it. And so it's just a clash and a collapse. So it's funny because me and his father on this day, on Thanksgiving Day, my other brother just told me.
This is very interesting. This is very, very interesting. 2 generations of lack of respect. Here we go.
On Thanksgiving Day 20 years ago, me and his dad got into a scrap.
Yeah, I wonder why. And see, this is probably the genesis of why the young man, the nephew, does not respect Anton Daniels. Hell, the brother probably doesn't respect him. A lot of these blacks are looking at Anton Daniels and listening to things that he's saying, and they're losing respect for him. All the money doesn't matter when they can't say, hey, this is my uncle, man. And then you listen to what he's saying about black people. And a lot of black people are taking that the wrong way or taking that a certain way.
Me and his father got into a scrap 20 years ago on Thanksgiving Day.
I wonder if he told his son about that scrap 20 years ago.
And now he wasn't even, I don't even know if he was born. He wasn't even born. No, he had to be born. He might have been a baby. But either way, it's funny because 20 years later, now me and his son got into a scrap. And I don't know, listen.
And that's kind of like the life cycle of black families. 2 generations of fighting here.
And I'm not an advocate for fighting and all of that, but I think that at certain times in family, especially when it comes to young dudes, and it wasn't even about the disrespect because you ain't got time to think about it from that perspective, right? The whole idea is it just got to go up. It just got to go up. Different, but mine is the type of family where it don't go past a certain point. Like it ain't gonna be no guns, it ain't gonna be none of that. So I think that that internal conflict, that internal squabbles, I felt like my back was against the wall because there was nothing I could do. Once we passed a certain threshold, I guess I could have just been quiet and just submitted to him. As far as when we was going back and forth and talking in the first place, but
yeah, I think the bigger point that he's missing is that there was no built-in respect for his uncle by the young man. That's what Anton Daniels is missing. He doesn't have a street presence. Everything he has built is virtual. Clicks, likes, subscribes, join my Patreon. These young men, they can't put their hands on it. They can't touch it. They don't see a way to build what he's built, so there's some respect to it. There may be some knowledge of how he gained this money. I'm not going to comment on that. People say he gained this money by a lawsuit. The brother would be aware of that, so that would be a further tearing away of the intrinsic respect that Anton would benefit from his nephews and things like that. If they don't think he really built this, if this came off the back of his father's workplace accident, whatever, just by being wealthy is not going to garner any respect from these young men. And again, there's nothing on the street where these young men say, my uncle owns that, my uncle does that. It's all clicks, likes, join my Patreon.
I don't submit to nobody. Like I'm not de-escalating with my nephew that is 20 years my junior.
Well, again, if you don't de-escalate with your nephew, then you end up fighting with your nephew, and you got to be the bigger, more intelligent man. You have more to lose than your nephew. Young man could have hurt him really badly, or he could have hurt the young man really badly. Is it just a lack of IQ, I think, coming out here? And again, he's willing to fight this young man, but when he was face to face with Corey Holcomb, he didn't go up there.
I'm not de-escalating with a nigga that I raised. I'm not de-escalating.
See, that's the problem. If he truly raised this young man, then the lack of respect that this young man paid him back by fighting him on Thanksgiving Day. I mean, this is a problem in the black community. I honestly, I couldn't imagine fighting one of my uncles or them fighting me, let alone on a Thanksgiving or a holiday. This is unbelievable.
Escalating with a dude that I practically was his father as he was growing up. Once we get past a certain threshold, it's on. It's up from there. It's up from there. And so the funniest part about it is that I don't think that these young dudes realize how strong we really are. Like, I don't think that they know. You know what I'm saying? Like, he learned today. He learned today. Like, I don't know if in their dreams or they be watching anime that they think it's just going to be a cakewalk and then they just going to go over there and handle us. But nah, that wasn't the case. it wasn't the case. That's just not how it went down. But it's unfortunate because I did not plan to get into a fight on Thanksgiving at family dinner.
And again, he would have been late 30s, early 40s when this fight would have happened again. This is an older man still fighting, and you see that even up until this year with Corey Holcomb.
I'm not glad that it had to happen over there at that particular time in front of all of the family and stuff like that. The funniest part about it is that I had an older uncle or whatever, and he's sitting on the couch, and Rita said, "Don't tell that part." Rita said, "Don't tell that part." But that was funny. And then my brother is funny because right after that, so we outside, he amped up.
You know, with AI, you can.
You know how when somebody start holding you back, they be like, let me go. That type of amped up. It was one of them type of amped ups. And I was just like, ain't nobody letting nobody go. I ain't gonna be able to get to him. He can't get to me. And I was like, all right, so let me go ahead and get up out of here. Rita's like, honey, just get in the car. What was you thinking the whole time?
Honestly, it was a lot of things going through my head at that point.
What was you thinking? What was going through your head?
That I want you to get in the car and go home because Leslie was there. But at the same time,
Leslie needed to see her dad in some squabbles.
Nobody else trying to jump in. Because I would have had to jump in.
You know, I must remind you that this is a guy who started out with Fight Club. Apparently, that's where he started out on the YouTube. You just heard him say that his daughter needed to see her father in some squabbles. You know, I have children. That's not something that I want my children to see me squabbling. To be quite honest with you, I much rather have my children see people not willing to fight me because they respect me. But for Anton, he's had to earn his respect by fighting people. We'll see how that works out.
What's going through your head?
I want you to get in the car and go home because Leslie was there. But at the same time,
Leslie needed to see her dad in some squabbles.
Yeah, you heard that. See, this is the the mindset of someone whose first creation was a fight club. It wasn't anything productive. It was what blacks are naturally oriented to do. Fight. So he created the Fight Club. And you have to tip your hat to that. He created something that the blacks desired. A space to go fight.
I was trying to jump in. I would have had to jump in.
Rita trying to fight, talking about I didn't want nobody else to jump in because I'd have had to jump in.
I mean, that's just what it is.
You know the thing that aggravated me the most? You know the thing that aggravated me the most? I can't stand, honestly, I genuinely cannot stand when people break it up. That aggravated me. Rita say that, what was you saying when I told you that I was mad that people was trying to break it up?
I said people always break up a fight, especially when it's family. Nobody want to see their family fighting. And I mean,
but they got into a way. This is too, that man. And then let me tell you what else that aggravated me. Anton, that's a kid. No, that's a grown fucking man. That dude is 19, 20 years old. That is a grown man. Let me tell you something, bro. These young dudes, they not kids. You gonna have to when I grabbed him, the first thing I did was I grabbed him by his neck and it just went down from there. When I grabbed him, and then, the adrenaline is going through your body, so I don't know if you just get extra strength or whatever like that, but and you throw him to the ground or whatever, and I'm on top of him or whatever. That's not no boy. That's a grown man. That is a 19-year-old, 20-year-old man that beelined over to me to go and squabble with me. Man, what am I supposed to do? And it was on. Everything went flying. The dogs went scrambling. The baby started crying. The women was like, like everything. It was up from there. The Christmas tree, we was right by the Christmas tree. The Christmas tree started going everywhere. It was up from there. But he got some he got hurt. He got squabbles. I'll give him that. He got his squabbles and he got his lick. He got his lick on me on the way up too. And my Versace glasses was all bent.
And this is Anton Daniels here describing a fight with his nephew on Thanksgiving. And I don't know who was the decisive winner, if there was one, if there could be one in this situation. But it just goes to show you the lack of IQ, the lack of the ability to, de-escalate situations. And I think it also shows you something else, that even his nephew doesn't respect him, did not respect him. And where did that lack of respect come from? with all of Anton Daniels' successes, the son of his brother, who he fought 20 years ago on Thanksgiving, also fought his uncle. There's a lack of respect there that has not been made up by Anton's success. That's something worth noting.
Up and yeah, I got to get them repaired. These mugs hit me in the face, and you could tell these mugs is all toe up because look at all of the. I don't know if you can see it up here.
So the young man snuck his uncle while his uncle had his glasses on. That's amazing.
But it's two things that I don't like. People that automatically start talking about, oh, they a kid. Oh, they a kid. No, they not. No, they not. Because let me tell you something about kids. Kids show a level of respect and they get to a certain level. That wasn't no.
Kids show a level of respect to people that they think deserve the respect. You have to acknowledge that this young man, for whatever reason, did not see Anton Daniels as worthy of respect. And that's very unusual considering the level of wealth and success and notoriety that Anton Daniels has. And I think part of it is because it's all virtual, it's all clicks. He can't give that or extend any of that to anyone else. If his nephew starts a YouTube channel, Anton can't guarantee that the channel will be successful. This is all him. This is all YouTube algorithm, click, like, subscribe, coming along at the right time. There's nothing down on the street. And I equate it to like, back in the day, people wanted a dope man connect. Hook me up on an 8-ball, an ounce of crack, or weed, or cocaine or something. It was physical. And that man that could put you on to the connect for some weed or some crack, he had real power and respect. But now all Anton can do is say, hey man, I can bring you clicks, likes, shares, subscribes, views. That's just not enough. And the young man sees it, you're just a old head on YouTube.
Kid at that point, that was a grown man that had rage in his eyes, and I had the same rage in my.
As a young man had rage in his eyes, and your success did not calm him down, and you did not have the IQ to de-escalate it with your words. So now you out here fighting on the street like any low-life ghetto person, and that's where we are here.
Eyes, and see, this is like let me show you something. Lower Spike Protein says, Anton, that's not leading with good example. You could have talked to him. Shaking my head.
Precisely my point. And this is a white guy saying this, and Anton has mentioned that the majority of his listeners are black. And so as a white person listening to this, this is probably not atypical across race, but the escalation, the lack of respect, there was no alcohol apparently involved. There was something deeper that led that young man to do this. And that is what probably is going unspoken in the white community. Why would this happen? And the white man is saying, you could have talked to him. Well, quite likely. But Anton talks all day online, and that should have been enough for the nephew.
Let me tell you something, bro. Once it's up, it's up. Ain't no talking to no young nigga that's beelining towards you.
That's correct. Because Anton had not done enough in his real life to where he could have de-escalated it, where the young man should have naturally not wanted to attack a wealthy, successful uncle of his. He went all in.
Listen, I don't know what color you are, Lord Spike Protein, but I'm just telling you.
Spike is white.
You're in black families, ain't nobody trying to hear nothing once it's up.
That's correct. Not just in the families, out on the streets as well.
It's on. It's on.
And so this is Anton. And I think this is why the majority of Anton's listeners are black. Because there are subtle differences. And Anton is trying to explain it. When it's on, it's on. Then again, there's the lack of respect, which is, is not normal. That a wealthy man, typically when he walks in a room, gets a lot of respect. No one challenges the wealthy man, typically. But here's Anton, his nephew behind him, swelling up behind him, makes a beeline around the couch, sneaks him with his glasses on, apparently bruises him up pretty good. This is not your typical family. This is the black dynamic. And this is who Anton is speaking to. So if you're white and you're in Anton's audience, you're getting an education on the difference between blacks and whites, particularly on holidays.
Once you stand up, you better be, ain't no knock the shoulder off of my stick or I dare you to swing. This ain't no, man, what is this? That's not what it is. Once it's up, bro. It's up. And so you're going to have, this is where I say you got to have discernment, right? Because you're going to have to be able to differentiate between, listen, I raised this young nigga. I raised him. I seen him when he was a baby. I put him in his crib. Once you get to the point to where you feel like it's time to scrap because you're gonna show me. And when we talked, I showed him a level of respect as a man, and he showed me a level of respect like, yeah, all right, I get it now. And it went up from there. And so I think that every once in a while, maybe once every 10 years, once in a lifetime, it gets to that point to where, with family specifically, it get to that point to where you gotta show up. You gotta show up, and it just go down. And it went down. It wasn't no talking.
Yeah, I would say that's not just family. That's the black community in general, particularly if you start using these gay references as he did with his nephew. Someone's going to challenge you. And you're going to have to back up all these words that you're speaking, particularly as gay. A lot of blacks are very, the homo, they're not very comfortable with that homo stuff. And Anton seems to make that his calling card. And when he gets into a verbal altercation with someone, he goes to the homosexual, slander. It doesn't go over well.
It probably, from the time that we started having a conversation and got into it to the time that we started scrapping, it probably was a mean 25, 30 seconds. It was a 30-second conversation. Once we stood up, it's a clash. And so I didn't even anticipate going to Thanksgiving dinner today. But I went, and when I went, it went up. And when it went up, it went south. And but we cool though. And I think that he's cool. I think that he got hurt. I think it went exactly the way that it was supposed to go. And either way, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to try to act like it didn't happen. When I first started this specific channel, my goal was to document the journey so that the people that come after me later on, let's just say 200 years from now, they'll know exactly what their great-great-great-great-great-grandfather was like.
And I think in documenting the journey, he's highlighting the flaws within himself as well as within the black community. The black community is so destroyed, their neighborhoods, that there are no Anton Daniels down on the street. They're all in the virtual world. And I don't think the respect of building something on the street extends the same way to building something virtually. A website, a YouTube channel, a Twitter, TikTok. The young person looks at Anton Daniels and says, I can't eat off of that. There are no jobs in that for me. If I even start a YouTube or TikTok channel, you can't blow my channel up. Where is the pathway, Mr. Rich Uncle, that I can follow your steps? Not be up under you like the other nephew, that I can follow your steps and blaze my own path. For Anton, there is no there. He can't explain to the nephew or anyone else, here's what you need to do to get to where I am. There are no physical assets that he can explain to the people. Like, if you listen to me, I'll say, hey, this is how I bought this property, this is how I bought that property. You hear the phone calls of people who are looking to buy what I'm selling. Anton is selling clicks, likes, views, shares, subscribe, Patreon memberships. He can go on a million different panels, and over the last couple of weeks, you've seen Anton show up on a lot of panels. Does that translate to those channels growing as big as him? It really doesn't. And so in conclusion, what I think we're seeing here is a guy that he created a fight club. And that fight club has followed him all through his life. That's where his mind took him. But this is not a businessman. And by the fact that there is the lack of business, you're seeing a lack of respect all around him, from family to friends, associates, and other people he's trying to do business with. So once again, it's just very interesting that we're seeing, and taking a look back, we kind of see how he ended up here with this Corey Holcomb situation. Once again, I am John Galt. Leave a comment below, like, share.
Niggas fighting for hoes and hoes pimp them well. Back the hood, red hoes telling these busters.
Baby, I love
When that buster drop out that cheese.
Baby, I love
Real niggas step in.